So the best thing that we do is we work with the county to try to make it as realistic as possible with collecting the ballots and getting anything that they can help with. In the past, whenever we use voting machines, the county would come in and really help us conduct that election. So we've moved away from the voting machines. It's a little more simple that the county doesn't need to come in, but it's nice to work with them that they get us as much as we can to make sure it's as authentic as possible. The main idea or the main takeaway that I want them to take from it is how they go about voting. And then the second thing is I just really want them to understand that it's a really simple process, that if they choose to cast their vote someday, it's not a difficult thing to do and it doesn't take up a lot of time. I think that just so they can have the basic understanding of how the election process works, but also at the same time too, just so they can see how easy it is. You know, when they make the determination whether they want to honor their ability or their right to cast their vote, just so they can see it's a really simple process.
So I think instead of just like focusing on just one candidate, I think there's maybe a tendency to like look at just the one that seems to be the fan favorite. I mean, obviously living in rural red state New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, there's probably more predominance of Donald Trump fans. And I think as a teacher, it'd be easy just to kind of cater to that. But I'm doing them a disservice by just focusing on one. You got to look at both. And I always say, instead of like getting down in, I say look at them from like 10,000 feet in the sky, so you can see everything going on. Yeah. So just in 8th grade recently, every student took the I Side With survey, and then they answered a whole series of questions about what their beliefs are. So one, it's relevant, it's engaging. It's something very personal, so they got to choose what they believed in various issues. And if they didn't know the answer, I told them to skip it. But at the end, it spits out results, and it would tell them, you're more, you're 65% conservative viewpoint, 65% or 60% liberal viewpoint, which they see that they're not going to be 100%. I just asked the class today, how many of you were 100% conservative or liberal? Nobody was. Everybody has kind of a mixture. You might lean heavier towards one side. So that's one way to engage them. Then, when we get to the presidency, again, using real-world information, ads, data, looking at the polls, and then, of course, playing iCivics when the White House doesn't hurt as well, because it's kind of fun.
Now for the results of the 2024 Redbank Valley mock election. And with a landslide victory, Donald Trump wins it with 383 votes. Kamala Harris follows in second with 34 votes. 51 write-in votes were also received. Thank you for participating in this year's mock election.